All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the intro to our personal finance literacy project, or our PFL project. So over the last few days, we've been discussing how to earn, how to spend, how to pay, and how to save money. And now we're going to put all that to good use with our personal finance literacy project. So essentially what I would like for you all to be able to do is manage your own money and balance your own budget. And in order to do that, we need to do a little practicing with our own budget in a real life situation. Not just like, here's $100, what are you going to spend it on, but actually think through an entire month of real life, real bills, real unexpected costs. So that's what we're going to do today. And we're just going to dig in piece by piece. So essentially what we need to do in order to make a monthly budget, first, we need to know a couple of things. We need to know what your job is in order to make sure that we have the correct amount of money for every month for your life situation. And in order to figure out what your job is, we need to know your education level. And in order to know that, we need to know whether or not you are accepted into the college of your choice on your college application. So let's start there. First and foremost, we need an education level. So our college application, let me pull up this instead. Our college application looks like this in PDF form. Now, at this particular time, you have the option of doing the college application either here through a PDF or through a Google form. So, the most basic of basic college applications looks like this. You got your college name, you're applying for the term beginning in fall of whatever year that you graduate from high school, possible major, possible career plans, payment, personal info, mailing address, citizenship, ethnicity, family information, that sort of thing. Additionally, you've got academic information, so what type of school do you currently attend, when is your graduation date supposed to be, your current courses, any other high schools that you've attended if you've moved around the country, and any colleges or universities that you've attended beforehand if you're applying for maybe grad school or you want to transfer from one college to the other. Now, additionally, you have AP or IB test scores. If you are currently enrolled in an AP class, you are not allowed to count the score until you've actually taken the exam. If you're currently in a class or if you have not taken the exam yet because you took the course in the fall, this score portion does not pertain to you. So the standardized testing information is also on there. If you would like to do the SAT or the ACT and go ahead and take that and get a score, you are welcome to put your actual scores here. However, again, you must have actually completed the ACT or the SAT, not the pre-versions of either of those two things. And this one is English as a foreign language if you are not an English language native speaker. Academic distinctions, any awards that you may have received. Are you a National Merit Scholar? Are you in the National Honor Society? Are you a part of the Beta Club, the Key Club, things like that. So this is academic distinctions, not necessarily just extracurriculars. So extracurriculars, speaking of which, go down here. So any activity that you do, a sport, a club, volunteer, any of that goes on here, and you check all of these grade levels if you have done them. And then PG over here means postgrad, so that does not pertain to us, but in general, if you were to fill out a college application in the future, which you will, these need to be checked off as well. So will you participate in whatever it is in college? Now, if you are like, I'm about to be a pole vaulter in college, but you're not super great and you're not thebomb.com at your high school, maybe let's not put that lack of skill on your college as well. So you have to be realistic over here. Are you going to participate in college? Now, if you want to do a club sport or do intramurals, sure. But you just need to realize that you need to be truthful on this. Employment information. Have you worked at all? Yes or no? And where? What do you actually do? How long were you employed there? If you've moved around from job to job, and how many hours a week do you typically work? Any of this, it depends on your college. You don't necessarily have to fill out the activity description on a normal basis. It just depends. Now, when you fill this out for real, going to college, you need to fill this out. But for our purposes, no. You don't need a personal statement either, or multimedia presentation. Do not send me a video as to what you are doing with your life. And over here is additional information, discipline, and you have to sign it. If you do not sign it, they will not consider your application, and you have just wasted the money that it costed you to apply for, that it cost you to apply for college. All right, so let's move it along to our PFL portfolio. So our actual project, we have to start from the beginning. So once we figure out our college application and we know whether or not we have been accepted to college, then we start to pull up our links or our tabs. So in Google Classroom, we're going to pull up the PFL portfolio. We are going to pull up our PFL links document. Whatever job you have received, that link, which comes from the links document, so down here, whatever job you are, have that tab open, and also your budget, okay? So again, I'll run through them: portfolio, links, and from the links document, your job link, and then finally your budget. So all 4 of those should be open at any point in time while you are working on this project. So part 1 is how to earn money, part 2 is how to spend, part 3 is how to pay, and part 4 is how to save, and then down here to the bottom, part 5 is your reflection. And then we've also got our rubric down here. So here's what I'm looking for when I am grading this. So how to earn, how to spend, how to pay, how to save. And you got 5 points for each of these boxes that you can check off to a grand total of 100. So if you are unsure as to how I'm going to look at this, I'm going to make sure that you've answered all the questions to the best of your ability and that you have addressed all of these boxes. All right, so let's dig into number 1 just a little bit. So I went ahead and did a couple of examples. Let's say, for example, I am a nurse for this project. Okay, what's my job? I'm a nurse. Do you earn a wage or a salary? It depends on what your job is. So I have to go to my job link, and I look down here and I see the word salary. I don't see the word wage, so I know that I earn my money per year and not per hour. So I can put salary over here. What's the difference? You tell me. This is based on your notes from how to earn. All right, and then how much money do you make per hour total or per year total? I found that out over here on my job link as well. Here's the number, $40,190. Boom, plug it into number 3. Now, I have to figure out what my monthly income is because I'm not making a yearly budget. We're making a monthly budget. So let's say it's the month of, I don't know, September. We're going to say it's the month of September for all of these different life situations in your budget, and we need to know how much you make per month after taxes. Well, your salary includes how much money you make before taxes, so you have to make sure that you take the taxes out. So let's go ahead and get down to our math. So how much money do you make per hour or per year total? Since I'm a salaried worker, I need to figure out my monthly income. So I take my salary, so $40,190, and divide it by 12 because there are 12 months in a year. And so then I'm over here with this much money, $3,349.17. However, I do not get to take all that home with me. I must pay my taxes. So over here, number 5, what amount will you pay as federal and state income taxes? I have to put the percentage here, and then I calculate out the amount. Please make sure on every single one of these, you make sure to round to the nearest cent. I want 2 decimal places, okay? 2 decimal places. So let's say, for example, I pay 15% federal tax and state tax. How do I know? I look at my job link. Here we go. So I work about 40 hours a week. It just depends on shifts, really. It just depends on where you want to work. And then for taxes, I pay 15% federal and 7% state. So I put that in there and I calculate this out. If you're not sure how to calculate it, here is a formula that will help you. So the percent taxed times my monthly income, and remember you'll need to use a decimal here. Any percentage that is smaller than 10 requires that a 0 goes in front of the number. I know that this sounds very elementary, but people do this all the time, and they calculate 70% instead of just 7. And then it's stressful because you're like, I'm broke. Yeah, because you did it wrong. Okay, so here's your 15 and 7%. And again, you don't get to keep this money. This belongs to the United States government and the North Carolina government. So you're going to have to give that money up. In order to do that, we're going to take our monthly income that we calculated in number 4, and then we're going to subtract both sets of taxes. So that ends up becoming our monthly income. Our disposable monthly income, and now we can go forward and pay bills. Okay, so that's $2,612.36 because again, I'm rounding to the nearest cent. Once you finish number 6, please make sure you stop and get your math checked by me. If your math is not checked by me and it's not correct, That means that you are going to get at best a 30 on this project because the remainder of this has to be done correctly based on the correct number. Okay, so after you finish number 6, you have texted or emailed me to let me know. Then number 7 and number 8 can be completed for part 1. Okay, and we will go over parts 2, 3, and 4 in later videos.